Letizia Ortiz Rocasolano is the Queen of Spain as the wife of King Felipe VI, who ascended on 19 June 2014 on the abdication of his father Juan Carlos I. Before her marriage to Felipe, Letizia was a journalist and news anchor. Letizia and Felipe have two daughters, Leonor, Princess of Asturias, who is now the heir presumptive, and Infanta Sofía, family. Letizia was born in Oviedo, Asturias, to a middle-class family. She is the eldest daughter of Jesus José Ortiz Alvarez, a journalist, and his first wife, María de la Paloma Rocasolano Rodriguez, a registered nurse and hospital union representative. She has two younger sisters, Telma and Erica, whose death was widely reported by press as due to an intentional prescription drug overdose. Her parents divorced in 1999 and her father remarried on the 1st of September 2000 in Madrid on the 18th of March 2004 to fellow journalist Ana Togores, born California, 1955. Letizia's paternal grandparents were José Luis Ortiz Velasco, a commercial employee at Olivetti, and María del Carmen Menchu Alvarez del Valle, a radio broadcaster in Asturias for over 40 years. Her maternal grandfather was Francisco Julio Rocasolano Camacho, a mechanic and cab driver in Madrid for over 20 years who was of French and Occitan origin. Letizia's maternal grandmother, Enriqueta Rodriguez Figueiredo, was born in the Philippines to Spanish parents. Medieval lineage. British genealogists have provided evidence that through her mother's Rocasolano lineage, Letizia is the 10th great-granddaughter of Astor Rocasolano, and her coat of arms incorporates the arms of the Rocasolano family. Reports have suggested, and remain unproven, that on her paternal grandfather's side, Letizia is a descendant of an untitled family descended from medieval nobility who served as constables of Castile. Education and career. Letizia attended La Gesta School in Oviedo, before her family moved to Madrid, where she attended high school at the Ramiro de Maeztu High School. She completed a bachelor's degree and a licentiate's degree in journalism at the Complutense University of Madrid, as well as a master's degree in audiovisual journalism at the Institute for Studies in Audiovisual Journalism. During her studies, Letizia worked for the Asturian daily newspaper La Nueva España and later for the newspaper ABC and the news agency FA. After completing her studies, she spent some time in Guadalajara, Mexico, working at the newspaper Siglo XXI. After returning to Spain, she worked for the Spanish version of the economic channel Bloomberg before moving to the news network CNN+. In 2000, she moved to TVE, where she started working for the news channel 24 Horas. In 2002, she anchored the weekly news report program Informe Semanal and later the daily morning news program Telediario Matinal on TVE1. In August 2003, a few months before her engagement to Felipe, Letizia was promoted to anchor of the TVE daily evening news program Telediario 2, the most viewed newscast in Spain. In 2000, Letizia reported from Washington, D.C., on the presidential elections. In September 2001, she broadcast live from Ground Zero following the 9/11 attacks in New York, and in 2003, she filed reports from Iraq following the war. In 2002, she sent several reports from Galicia in northern Spain following the ecological disaster when the oil tanker Prestige sank. First marriage. Letizia married Alonso Guerrero Perez, a writer and a high school literature teacher, on the 7th of August 1998 in a simple civil ceremony at Almendralejo, in Badajoz, after a 10-year courtship. The marriage was dissolved by divorce in 1999. second marriage and children. On the 1st of November 2003, to the surprise of many, the royal household announced Letizia's engagement to the Prince of Asturias. Afterwards, she moved to live in a wing of Zizuela Palace until the day of her wedding. The Prince of Asturias had proposed to her with a 16-baguette diamond engagement ring with a white gold trim. She marked the occasion by giving him white gold and sapphire cufflinks and a classic book. The wedding took place on the 22nd of May 2004 in the Cathedral Santa Maria la Real de la Almudena in Madrid. It was the first royal wedding in this cathedral, which was consecrated by Pope John Paul II in 1993. It had been nearly a century since the capital celebrated a royal wedding, as the prince's parents married in Athens, and his sisters, Infanta Elena and Infanta Cristina, married in Seville and Barcelona respectively. Letizia's bridal gown was designed by Spanish fashion designer Manuel Pategas, her bridal shoes by Pura Lopez, and the veil, a gift from Felipe to his bride, was made of off-white silk tulle and hand-embroidered with beautiful details. As Letizia's previous marriage involved only a civil ceremony, the Catholic Church does not consider it canonically valid and therefore did not require an annulment to proceed with a Catholic marriage to the Prince of Asturias. Letizia and Felipe have two daughters, Leonor, Princess of Asturias, born on the 31st of October 2005, and Infanta Sofía, born on the 29th of April 2007. Princess of Asturias. The princess immediately joined in the duties of her husband and traveled extensively through Spain representing her father-in-law. They also represented Spain in other countries. The princess has traveled along with the prince to Jordan, Mexico, Hungary, the Dominican Republic, Panama, the United States of America, Serbia, Brazil, Uruguay, Sweden, Denmark, Japan, China, and Portugal. She also greeted international dignitaries, along with other members of the royal family. Letizia also attended gatherings of foreign royalty in Luxembourg, for the silver wedding anniversary of the Grand Duke and Grand Duchess of Luxembourg, and in the Netherlands for the 40th birthday of the Prince of Orange. Her solo agenda was announced in 2006, shortly after the announcement of her second pregnancy. Letizia has performed a couple of audiences and her work will focus on social issues such as children's rights, culture, and education. In late 2007, her solo agenda started to grow in the quantity of events she performed by herself, and Felipe's and Letizia's agendas became more distinct and separate. Letizia supported Spanish designers, from couturiers such as Felipe Varela and Lorenzo Caprile to Zara and Mangard, and continues to as Queen Consort. On the 19th of June 2014, Letizia became Queen of Spain. As such, she holds the style of Majesty. She is the first Spanish-born queen consort since Mercedes of Orleans, the first wife of Alfonso XII. She is also the first Spanish queen to have been born as a commoner. Letizia undertook her first solo engagement as queen on the 23rd of June 2014 at the inauguration of the El Greco in Modern Painting exhibition at the National Prado Museum in Madrid. In the first overseas trip as monarch and consort, King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia met Pope Francis on the 30th of June 2014 in the Apostolic Palace. They later met with Cardinal Secretary of State Pietro Parolin, accompanied by MGSR Antoine Camilleri, Under-Secretary for Relations with States. The visit followed one by King Juan Carlos I and Queen Sofia on the 28th of April. In 2015, Letizia was named Special Ambassador for Nutrition for the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization. Letizia and Felipe and the princesses still reside at the residence where they have lived since 2004. It is stated that the Palace of Zizuela is a working place only for Felipe. In March 2016, leaked texted messages between Letizia and businessman Javier López Madrid created a furore. Together with other executives and board members of the Caja Madrid and Bankia Financial Group, Madrid had been accused of corruption. In October 2014, Letizia pledged her support for him, texting, "We know who you are and you know who we are. We know each other, like each other, respect each other. To hell with the rest. Kisses, yoga mate." Felipe also joined in, texting, "We do indeed." Publication of the text by the newspaper El Diario threatened to undo the line Felipe had drawn between himself and the scandal of Infanta Cristina and her husband, as well as questions over the origins of ex-King Juan Carlos's private fortune. A palace official subsequently stated that the king and queen were no longer friends with Madrid due to his legal issues, titles, honors, and arms. At the time of her marriage to Prince Felipe, Letizia was appointed to the Grand Cross of the Royal and Distinguished Order of Charles III as Dame on the 21st of May 2004. Since then, Letizia has received different appointments and decorations by foreign states and other Spanish honors.